Hi everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. Here is a favorite bonfire treat that you can make up ahead of time. Now you can have your s'mores and eat them too. This makes between 2 or 3 dozen of them. This recipe is for Smores Cookie Bars. There's no need to wait for the coals to burn down and then stand over the fire roasting yourself while waiting for the marshmallows and chocolate to melt. Aw, but that's fun too. We still want to enjoy our bonfires. Just saying, you can make these up ahead and enjoy them anytime and for any occasion without as much fuss or mess when you're in the middle of entertaining. And this is made up with a graham wafer cookie dough recipe. So I'm just pre-pouring a few of the ingredients up ahead. It makes it easier when I'm putting it together, and you might want to do that too. Just a few simple ingredients, most of which you will have around the house. Now that I have everything pre-poured, we'll get right to the recipe amounts. Start by putting 2 large eggs into the mixing bowl. Add 1 cup of unsalted butter. Now 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Also 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. Then mix it until it's well combined. Now add half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Again, mix that together until it's well incorporated. Now add 1½ cups of graham wafer crumbs. And finally, 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. And mix that until it forms a soft dough like this. Then take and cut 2 pieces of parchment paper that are approximately 15-16 inches long. And lightly grease a 9 by 13 inch cake pan. Then take half your dough and put it into the cake pan and pat it down with a fork like this. I find the fork helps it to spread better. Then place the other half of the dough on parchment paper and set it aside for the top later. Now you'll need between 10 to 12 chocolate bars. They will need to be thin ones like the Jersey Milk or the Hershey chocolate bars. And once you have them peeled from their packages, take them and line them up on top of the graham wafer cookie dough. Place them in a single layer and break the chocolate bars as you need to cover the dough to the sides of the pan. You take about 3 cups of the marshmallow fluff and spread it on top of the chocolate. I find it helps to use 2 spoons to spread this with because it is quite tacky. And once you have that all spread out evenly like this, then you move on to the next layer. Now take the other half of your cookie dough and press it down with your hands like this on the parchment paper. Then you place the other parchment paper on top and you roll it out to the size of your cake pan. And of course it doesn't have to be exactly the same size. A little bit larger is good. You can just trim the edges with a knife. And if you don't want to roll it out like this, you don't have to. You could just scoop the cookie dough on top and try and spread it that way. But I think rolling it out like this makes it easier and a smoother texture. So peel off the top parchment paper, flip it over quickly onto the top of the pan like this. And then you just trim the edges with a knife and take those pieces and patch up any areas that didn't get covered. And don't worry too much about it if there's a little bit of marshmallow showing through, it doesn't matter. Then place that in a 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes or until it's golden brown around the edges. And when it's hot out of the oven, you would have to eat it with a spoon in order to eat it right away while it's melted. So if you want them to look like these squares, you would need to set them in a cool spot and then cut them into squares like this once they're set. Now this will take a few hours, so it's best to make it up a day ahead for any event that you're planning to take them to. And if you still want to serve them warm, place them on a plate and microwave it, or on some tin foil and place it on the edge of a fire pit. These are so good, they're well worth making. I hope you do and enjoy. And thanks for watching Best Recipes with Sharon.